It can't be that freaking hard, right? Getting healthy, being healthy, staying healthy. I believe that having optimal health is the pathway to living a truly fulfilled life. I'm your host, Ashley Mythen, a qualified naturopath who's passionate about finding solutions to your health problems, because your health is my business and healthy starts here. Welcome to the show. Can you be too healthy? Short answer, yes, absolutely. Anything taken to the extreme is unhealthy. One of my favorite quotes that I share on the very first episode of my podcast is by Oscar Wilde: everything in moderation, including moderation. I was talking about that to a friend of mine, and she pointed out that everyone's perception of moderation is also different. What I consider moderation is different from another person's moderation. And this is very true. This can be taken in so many different ways. But the important thing here is to connect with how you feel. So when we look at eating disorders, in particular, say anorexia, where it's taken to the extreme of starving the body, and there's this kind of image of the body, that the connection with the body as well, to wanting it to look a certain way, to be skinnier, to be thinner. It's just continuous. It's never reaching this is enough. I'm happy now. There's always more and more. And I've talked often with people with anorexia, especially my friend Nicole Brown, who we do a podcast with. It's called Healing from an Eating Disorder, and she shares really candidly about her experiences there. And it wasn't until she realized how it was affecting her body in the negative, which it does. Not only does the mental health part deteriorate, but the body's ability to function also deteriorates. So any extreme on either side of the scale, no pun intended there, is unhealthy. One thing that I really love to return to, because I love spirituality and philosophy and all these wonderful things, and I love there's a Buddhist saying and about, going the middle way, never taking the extreme side of anything. And again, it's that moderation side, just taking the middle way. And that's really important to take into consideration when you are thinking about health. So how do you know that you are taking things to the extreme? How do you know if you are, quote unquote, too healthy? The first thing that you need to consider is how you feel around eating and food. Is there anxiety there? Do you feel fearful before a mealtime? Are you ignoring certain cravings of hunger to the point where you're skipping meals or essentially starving yourself? And again, it's not about judging or shaming. It's nothing about that. It's just looking honestly and reflecting openly. Am I doing the right thing for my body? Because food and carbs especially, which have such a bad rep, that it's all about low carbs, no carbs. And in fact, the preferred fuel for the brain is carbohydrates. Now, what's really important here is to remember that food is fuel. So it's important to consider the kind of food that we fuel our body with every day and every meal. But it's also important to not get obsessive about it, to enjoy those moments with our friends if we're out, having fish and chips or a burger, and not beating ourselves up about it and spending the next 48 hours obsessing over this food choice. Because one bad meal isn't going to make you unhealthy, just like one good meal isn't going to make you healthy. So that's that moderation thing again. It's not beating yourself up about every single little thing that you're having, but looking at the overall picture. Are you choosing the right foods? Are you filling yourself up with healthy foods and healthy thoughts? It's really important to again look at that mind-body connection. Like, are you berating yourself? Are you actually treating your body too strictly and ignoring your natural cravings for food and hunger? Sometimes cravings can be for a variety of reasons. It can be often connected to, imbalance in gut health. It can be certain nutritional deficiencies. But one thing that I've noticed throughout, again, about my conversations with people who are healing from eating disorders is that their cravings reduce once they start giving the food that their body needs, which is really interesting. So once we fill ourselves up with good, healthy, whole food, and what I mean by that is having a variety of proteins, vegetables, fruits, whole grains, all these wonderful things in moderation with each other. So how we know that we are becoming this way is this obsession around food. If you're listening to this and perhaps they're striking a chord, perhaps either way, there's some kind of resistance to what I'm saying, or maybe there's some emotion that's flared up or something triggered within you, and I would dive into that deeper and ask yourself why that is, and really look at your relationship with health. Why I believe health is so important is so that we can go out and do the things that we want to do and feel good about it. Really showing up at work, really showing up and being connected to our family and friends. And we can do this when we're feeling good within ourselves. And you can't feel good within yourselves if you're doing anything to the point of extreme and obsession where you're beating yourself up if you make what you perceive as a wrong decision. It's all about making the healthiest decision in that moment, accepting it and moving on. And that's how you create more balance in your life. If you're feeling like this is something that you could work on, perhaps you need some advice on it, that's important and amazing to be able to see that you do need a little bit of support there. And I'd recommend reaching out to a counselor or someone who specializes in this kind of thing and working on those thought processes that are affecting your ability to be able to create more balanced and a healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle is all about balance, really, essentially. Like, again, if we're doing all those extreme things and just eating like lettuce or one apple all day, yes, lettuce is really healthy. Yes, apple is really healthy. But if that's all you eat, you're not healthy, because there are so many other nutrients and things needed for your body to be healthy. And mentally as well, that's not mentally very satisfying. Like, I can't imagine someone to be very happy just living off those two things. And that is something that's really important for health as well. Do you feel happy about the way that you're living your life? And if not, then time to make some healthy decisions, changes, and reaching out to those, maybe asking advice about how you can go about this, reaching out to a practitioner, a holistic practitioner, naturopath, or a counselor, or all of them. We can all work together because of, like I said, mental health, physical health. These are all spiritual health. These are all things that are connected and are just as important as each other. And when we feel content with our choices, when we accept that what we're doing feels good, feels right for us, then that's where you want to get to. That's how you want to feel. You don't want to be feeling anxious around food and fearful about your next meal, because that's not a healthy way to live. Like, it's not you're not going to be able to enjoy the times with your family when you're eating out. You're not going to be able to focus on your work or your job or your passion, because you're so preoccupied with this particular aspect of your life that's taking over. And again, it's that moderation, taking the middle way that is so, so important. So today I'd like to end this episode with an affirmation. I love affirmations, and how I like to use them is I don't smother them over the thought processes or the things that I no longer want to think. I simply observe my thoughts, I notice them, I recognize them, and then I choose something else. And so this allows yourself to feel what you need to feel, allow that emotion, that feeling to be there, respect that it's there and it's okay that you're feeling and thinking that way. But now you have the choice to think something different. So this is the affirmation I'm going to leave today's episode on. I am learning to accept myself as I am. I embrace healthy and nourishing thoughts and actions into my life. Thank you for listening. It can't be that friggin' hard, right? Be kind to yourself and each other. Till next time.